As Prime Minister Dewa has kicked off his three-day India visit, cross-border railway seems to be high on the agenda. Prime Minister Dewa and his Indian counterpart Narendra Modi are also scheduled to jointly inaugurate the Kurta-Jayanagar railway, which experts say are signs that Indo-Nepal ties are back on track. Good morning, I'm Sarah Sapsanamma and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister Dewa begins political parleys in India. The visit an opportunity to address persisting issues. Inadequate preparation likely to limit the tour to a formality. Youths of marginalized communities compelled to leave the country to seek job opportunities. Share grievances of being used as vote banks by political parties. Ukraine's President Zelensky says the military situation in the east of the country remains extremely difficult as Russian troops were preparing for new powerful blows in the Donbas region. And Malaysia sees Nepal in the ongoing Tri-Nations T20 series today. A win must for Malaysia to book a place in the finals. Nepal and India have enjoyed age-old ties dating back to centuries. However, occasional disputes continue to surface between the two neighbors. Several issues that need attention persist between Nepal and India. However, Prime Minister Dewa's India visit is likely to be limited to a formality in the face of inadequate preparations.
Prime Minister Dewa has the opportunity of addressing unresolved issues that have lasted for decades between the two friendly neighbors. Nepal is yet to make use of the territory integrated in the updated political map of Nepal issued by the government under KP Sharma Oli's leadership. Nepali Congress, which was in opposition back then, had been demanding of effective diplomatic efforts for Nepal to use the territory. With Nepali Congress now leading the coalition government, the time is most opportune to make necessary diplomatic effort in this regard. Border-related disputes between Nepal and India persist in different parts of 23 districts. Voices have been raised regarding high-level political talks to address this issue. However, Prime Minister Dewa does not seem to have made adequate preparations for talks on these sensitive issues. Nepal is also yet to reap any benefit from the Pancheshwar multipurpose project included in the Mahakali Treaty during Dewa's India visit back in 1996. India appears reluctant in receiving the report prepared by the Eminent Persons Group on Nepal-India relations. Nepal's trade deficit with India is hurting the national economy as India continues to set high prices for its products and services while discounting those of Nepal. In the given situation, Prime Minister Dewa has reached India without holding consultations with the stakeholders. As Premier Dewa has embarked on his India trip with the local elections drawing close, addressing the persisting issues could have served his political interests well. On the contrary, the visit is most likely be limited to a mere formality in the absence of serious table works.
And moving on, there are legal provisions in the country that prohibit strikes and halting supply of essential goods. Even as the petroleum traders have ignored such provisions in the latest round of agitation, the government remains a mere spectator. With demands of increasing the supply fare and commission, the umbrella organization of petroleum traders has resorted to protest campaigning, which has only added to the suffering of the public life. Consumers were compelled to queue at fuel stations even on the day of public holiday yesterday. Considering possible shortage of fuel products, consumers are now hoarding petroleums. Traders close to ruling parties Nepali Congress and CPN Maoist Centre themselves are leading the protest. Even as the legal provisions prohibit strikes from traders supplying essential goods, the administration is yet to take any decisive action. Madhya province, with the highest population density, is equally plagued with a high magnitude of poverty. The Dalit community of the province has been left behind, while the political parties are alleged of only using them as vote banks. With the local election drawing closer, parties have begun reaching these communities with packages of assurances. However, with the leaders failing to introduce programs to uplift their living standard, the young population of this region has begun leaving Nepal to seek job opportunities in India. With barely enough land as properties, youths of the Dalit communities have begun losing hope for a better life in Nepal and are seeking opportunities abroad. These communities have lagged behind in terms of employment opportunities and services related to education and health, among others. While only a few have managed to leave for Gulf countries, others are compelled to find labor works in Indian cities. Meanwhile, programs introduced by the provincial government to empower the Dalit communities have been limited to documents. Of the 6,126,288 population in the Madhya province, almost 17.5% belong to Dalit communities. Political parties always seem to have packages in their election manifestos for these communities, including other under poverty line. However, with the indifference of the local level towards their concerns, these communities continue to be abused as vote banks. In our Public Voice segment, we've asked local residents in several provinces regarding their opinions on obstructions in the supply chain of essential goods. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
लगाउनु त कुनै पनि अर्थले राम्रो होइन कसरी हुन्छ समाधान गर्ने प्रयास गर्नुपर्छ
भोलि त्यस्तै औषधि सामानहरू हैन रोकिन्छ र मान्छेको ज्यान जान सक्छ
कानुन अनुसार कारबाही गरेर भए पनि ढुवानी दैनिक उपयोगी सामानहरू चाहिँ तत्काल उपलब्ध गराउनुपर्छ
And it's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion. The question is, what's your take on public compulsion of having to go abroad in search of employment despite imminent elections? Your options are A, failure of government planning, B, lust for abroad, and C, nothing exceeds hunger. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Let's move on to the sports update. Malaysia are up against Nepal in the final match of the league round of the ongoing Tri-Nations T20 International Series. While Nepal has already booked a place in the finals, today's results will ensure the other finalists of the tournament. The match has been scheduled to kick off at 12:30 p.m. at TU Cricket Ground in Kantipur. Nepal has remained undefeated in the ongoing tournament. Malaysia will need to chalk out a win today to make a place in the finals. Nepal are atop the points table with 6 points from 3 matches, while Papua New Guinea and Malaysia both have 2 points from 3 matches. However, PNG are ahead based on run rate. Tony Ura's explosive innings of 86 runs from 34 deliveries had helped Papua New Guinea thrash Malaysia by 8 wickets yesterday. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.